we are on the same platform. We must tolerate one another, live together. To the magistrates, it's left in your hand. To the judiciary, it's left in your hand. May God give you the will and the commitment to dispensation of justice for our society. The reform is on the way, and there will be hope that you will collaborate with me. I promise you my commitment to fulfill all political promises. I want to thank you very, very much. I enjoyed my visit. I thank the people of Rivers.
So that was how that went. So Kolu is saying that he doesn't want to fight anybody now until he assumes office. They laughed. He said he has enjoyed his stay and they laughed. That's the few things I can remember from what he said. Because, what? Do you hear something else inspiring? Something I missed? Other than to say, yeah, you know, you've all done well. I won. He had to keep reminding himself that he won. And the judiciary should not bow to any pressure. Okay? They should be on his side because he's going to be on their side. He's going to take care of them. It's been very good to the judiciary. And in this sense, we're talking about the judges and all that. In Lagos State, now choice landed properties, then they give them. Here you get now. So they have to deliver. So that's how they're going to fight corruption. Anyway, fighting corruption or not, one of the hypocritical things in Nigeria is that you can condemn anything in Nigeria that is wrong, but you have to belong to the right kind of people that can say things like that. For example, you can't just say the northern Nigeria is poor without, for some reason, offending some snowflakes. And they are not just like, you know, it is deliberate. You know what I mean? Like intentional sort of, you know, there's a word for it anyway, but if I found it, fine. If I don't, I'll find something else to use. But it's deliberate, hypocrisy, kind of. The northern Nigeria is poor. All the data shows that the northern Nigeria is poor, raking in poverty. And if you dare say that without them having to be those who are saying it right, then you can be considered as an enemy. Here you get. And they can easily tell you, do you know how many billionaires that are from the north? Do you really know how many, the richest black man, the richest man in Africa is from the northern Nigeria. The Kenekon is from the Kenekon Loriro. But the truth of the matter is that the northern Nigeria is actually the part of Nigeria that helped put Nigeria on that map of the poverty capital of the world. So they call it, listen to this. Crony capitalism is the right word. Crony is like proxy. Crony is replicating yourself, but without having to put yourself there, like replicating yourself that way. So capitalism generally is when you know that your government, your economy, and the rest of that are being run by greedy billionaires whether in Nigeria or outside Nigeria. No, hang on. Capitalism in America is considered as those money bags, billionaires that are not paying their fair share of their wealth like everyone else. The people that will say the capitalists, they want to own everything. They own everything, they own this and that. In Nigeria, you have billionaires. Now, there are billionaires, right? That there are like categories of billionaires. There are some of them that are just proxies, cronies for the criminals in government, right? So their job is they put up a bogus enterprise that is making more money than its entire worth. Like if you put the whole business together, the entire worth is not nothing, but the turnover of money that is coming out of that business. And when you ask, how are you making this so much money? They have somehow, they are government contractors now. So they are like, so the greed there is this: politicians will steal your money through bogus contracts, give them to their friends that set up bogus companies. Okay. So that money is not coming into that economy. They don't pay tax on them. Do you get that now? So in the process, the money kind of ended up leaving Nigeria. So they called it crony capitalism. They pretended to be running things. They run, they create scarcity intentionally. They stifle the economy. They deal in insider trading in your stock and all of that, because it's like that. But the money is not actually to help Nigeria, help the economy, like you reinvest it. Then government says, oh, you made so much money, we're going to take a tax from that. We're going to reinvest it, because the money is not meant to be taxed. The money is just a farce. Sort of the whole company, it's just a farce. So Dangote is known as somebody, we call him quota system billionaires, by the way. Somebody who is a product of a quota system where corrupt criminals, generals, and the rest of them in Nigeria have been able to channel their money into in the name of investment, to the point that every competition that could have actually helped Nigeria have been killed for him. So at the end of the day, right, he is so kind of big when it comes to the Nigeria economy, with the amount of influence he wield economically. The Central Bank of Nigeria is like his own wallet, where if he needs any money anywhere, Central Bank of Nigeria will stand as a guarantor for Dangote. Nigeria can build refinery, Dangote can. All of these are just like criminals channeling their stolen wealth through something that looks legit. But in the long run, in the long run, it's not actually really benefiting anyone. But their cycle, they become more richer, but you can't see the effects, not even on those who are working for them anyway. So, but I know they call them chronio. Now, chronic, painful capitalism. And wait me, they call them that too. Chronic capitalists. They say no word like that. I say no, it no matter. Chronic capitalists are the people who say, they know, say, after all that thing, the primary intention is to keep you poor. No competition. If you try to challenge any business that Dangote and some other selected northerners like that are interested in, they will have to destroy you and destroy that business. It is just like, it's unwritten, but it is Nigerian thing. So crony capitalism. So what do they create? They create poverty. That's what crony capitalists, that's what they do. It is a combination, collaboration of the greedy, selfish Nigerian businessmen who are also closet politicians, and in the process, taking government contracts, sabotaging government policies, changing things in a way that cut out competitions that can indeed help. So what do you get at the end of the day? Poverty. So when a northerner start telling you they are rich, they have rich this, rich that, ask them, how come all these out of school children with all the billions, how come they are all looking away? How come it's never really kind of peeved them, like make them feel like Sokoto State, the caliphate, the seat of caliphate in Nigeria, Sokoto is the poverty capital of Nigeria. Can you believe that? Nearly 90% of people living in Sokoto State are poor. Think now, think about some things that some of you can actually throw around, that in the long run, it can't be like say, get sense. Because when you defend something that you can't really kind of explain, and you are so willing to die in defending it, It's either you are stupid or you are stupid. Sure you get. Sokoto State, the seat of caliphate in Nigeria, is the poverty capital of Nigeria. And look at it now. Data don't lie. Taraba State is the second poverty capital of Nigeria. Nearly 90% of people in Taraba State are poor. Nearly 90%. So if you are from Taraba and you are lying to yourself, it's not kiniko. You see the poverty around you. You can't hide them. Jigawa, 87% of people in Jigawa are poor. Hey, and you see all the names, these are from northern Nigeria, Middle Belt, Niger, Gombe, Bauchi, Zamfara, Adamawa, Ebonyi. That's the one I wanted to point out. Ebonyi, where Devulumayi is their governor. The man that spent 36 billion naira to build airports. And he is currently going now with 1.6 billion naira severance package as a governor. So that's what they have approved for him now. So Umayi will collect 1.6 billion. His deputy will collect something around 850 million. And they are doing all the packaging right now. But Ebonyi, the poverty capital of Nigeria, the poverty capital of Eastern Nigeria, Ebonyi State. Remember that, Some people are saying, wait till Ebonyi they find it. Baba, you better tell yourselves the truth. Engineer Devulumayi and his media, his media influencers and the rest of them. What they have been telling people is that they are building roads, they want to build bridges, they are building rail, they are doing this and that, but no investment in human capital development. Can you believe that? No real investment in education, no real investment in advanced education, no real investment in today's real requirement, job requirement education that can keep people up and running, like at par with their mates all over the world. No. The poverty capital of Nigeria, the poverty capital and all of that. Nigeria is the poverty capital of the world with over 143 million Nigerians living in not just poverty, multi-dimensional poverty. This is not made up. We are talking about millions of people here. Look at it. Look at that figure. That should worry you if you are from any part of this, okay? And it should be concerning too. And these are the kind of conversation you should be hearing from people who are coming to save you, but you know, go hear them. Hope is here. Hope is coming. I am going to change your life. Meanwhile, let me tell you this, on the lighter mode, Tinubu says, let me tell you, I'm going to say this slowly so that you can know that it's not like banters and all that, okay? I heard him. I don't believe him. So Tinubu said is going to give you student loans. All of you where they pay 400,000, 300,000. Your mama, papa poor. Don't worry, you go school. Okay? Now, there will be no longer ASU strike. It will give them the money they want. For now, the ASU is asking for about 2.5 trillion naira. Okay? Just to come to close so that they can then negotiate properly how it will be from now on. 2.5 trillion naira. So Tinubu said he's going to give them. There will be no longer ASU strike. It will give them, it will improve the policy that, you won't need to rely on government money. The schools will be running on their own. So if you now have to pay school fees, for example, you're going to OOU now, and that is Olabiso Onabanjo University in Agowoye, and your school fees is 250,000 naira. Your mama, your papa no get money. As a student in Nigeria, Tinubu said you can approach with your ID card and all that, with your student ID card and all that, yeah? You can approach your school to apply for student loan. So that student loan means you can take the loan for the next 4 years or 5 years to complete your education. By the time you are done, there will be jobs. Don't worry. Tinubu is going to give you jobs. So there will be jobs And then when you start working, you can start paying back that loan. Remember that, because this is the diary. Me, I will be reminding you. Sure you get. He also said that those of you that are having problems, for example, starting your business, or you want to buy a house, you don't have so much money, or you are working, or all that, you have access to free money, whereby you can do whatever you want to do business-wise. And if you do well, it is for the betterment of Nigeria. I say, yes, C-sense. I don't talk C-sense, no deal. But there are some certain things that I would like to remind you. I know a lot of you that believe that when criminals rig themselves in, you can move on, because what is now next is to pray for them to do the right thing for you. Sure you get. I know some of you always have that mind. What if Tinubu now come and change and gone? You and your what if? Or because the first step is, what if it's now the best? What if he now change Nigeria? What if he now pay kiniko? What if? Now so now they start. By the time the shege starts, by the time una they collect your beating, left, right, and center, una go begin to change your what if to what about. What about that one? Why don't you talk that time? What about the time Buhari is there? Suddenly, some of you watching me right now, if you see some of you, be like, wish. Especially some of you are like APC, Egbekegbe, Olori Buruku niyin. Share you get. And some of you as well, because of the shege you have seen under Buhari, Olori Buruku, because Jeje minimum 1B. Now here I did my Jeje for years now. 8 years ago, I did scream. Buhari go deal with all of una. Una go learn. I was one of those who started that. You will learn. Shares of where in the sense you go learn. That they abuse me, they attack me, they call me enemy of this, enemy of that. When the shege started, suddenly, my friend, shut up your mouth, John. Are you not the same person who was telling us to vote for APC? Egbamike. She frustration Nigeria ti baye yin je to yen ni. I'm saying all of this from experience. So people go just say, who be this one? Say, Mayegun diary. Na Yoruba guy. This one na Yoruba. My friend, shut up your mouth, John. Are you not the Yoruba people that said we should vote for Buhari? I say, Amy, look at my face very well. So people would now say, my friend, get out of here, John. Don't you know Mayegun? Mayegun is not technical. I mean, see, people have to come and defend me. When the shege started, under APC, they started accusing everybody. You know what I mean? The APC, Egbekegbe member on their own, those ones started accusing me of, Shebi, is that not your prayer before? Is that not your prayer? No, this Mayegun. Let us just remember that we all of us, we have a case to answer at any case to God. Some of you will not see God. If you die like that, you don't go see God at all. No case for you. Now straight to hell. They said, you this Mayegun, instead of you to join us to pray for Buhari to succeed, you're always criticizing. Not be me you call enemy of progress before. When I tell you, say, Emma Lano last in you. Iyama je pasa sin lara. Now una go chop your yao. Shut up your mouth. God is bigger than you, Mayegun. God is going to shake. When the shege started, they started accusing me. Are you not the Yoruba? Are you not a Yoruba person? Are you not the Yorubas that say that the APC is? Are you not the Yoruba story or long time? I want people in worry by it to your long. I coped. Now, una don't start your what if again. But Mayegun, but Shashugon because of right, Mayegun, what if? I know that he spent a lot of money. I know that he's a corrupt. But what if? What if we kill you, dear? Now, so that they tell me what if that time. Later, then change what if to what about. That was when I started I coined the word whataboutism. I don't coin word though. If to say I write all my things down, Baba, I go get. I feel kind of. I feel published the best-selling book that comes to political terminologies and all of that. I don't make up things, just a drop like that. I said, Nigerians and their whataboutism. When you catch them red-handed, they will tell you, but what about that one? Mayegun, say, Boko Haram don't kill 14 people for Sokoto. Hey, Boko Haram, you could suppose go ICC. They suppose jail Boko Haram. The same Nigerians will now say, but Mayegun, it's not that I'm supporting Buhari. It's not because I'm supporting APC. But what about Mayegun? What about the one that happened in Cameroon? Why don't you talk about that one in Cameroon too? Shebi Boko Haram kill people in Cameroon 2 days ago. You, Mayegun, what about Cameroon? I said, Shili in Shire, ni kini temi ati Cameroon. We think concern me with Cameroon to your long. Mayegun, you are too biased. Let us be honest, and when we are doing our report, I don't like Buhari. In fact, I don't like APC. But Mayegun, what about Cameroon? What about Cameroon? Okay, what about Cameroon? Sure, you get. When I don't start your what if now, and I hear a good day. Before, look at me very well. Before when the whole thing begin, they shock everybody. They come, they look for who to blame. Who to blame? Who should we blame this morning? Who should we say is the problem of Nigeria today? Oh, that's this guy again. I'm just saying it. Because if I see, I go talk. Do you understand? So before I take you to something again. So if you have these poor people, they are product of poor decisions, poor and corrupt political policy decisions, so to say. And there are consequences. Now, wait till me at one point out with that. There are consequences, so that you never become the victim. Let me say you go escape them all. But for those who went to Sudan, so Airpeace left Nigeria finally. And like I said, 376 of them have been airlifted back to Nigeria. And they are back, I believe, to their families. Others still they road, still they border. It has been the longest journey, Sudan to Nigeria, in history. It's been the longest journey. But it is not how far, but how well. So let's leave all the other drama when Airpeace received the signal, including Nigeria Air Force jets like that. When they received the signal that want to ship border, everybody they come, Airpeace like this. So Airpeace, Egypt, Nigeria Air Force, aircraft, something like that, right? It's like a passenger. It's like a cargo aircraft, right? Cargo plane. That too went, and on their return, but while they were like flying down, the people, the survivors who made it to that small airport that they provided for them, not Cairo, right? They started lining up the tarmac, waiting to board like this. are mostly students and all that. And then immediately the aircraft landed. The ones that were caught on the airpiece, those ones were able to sit like a normal passenger, passenger plane. They were comfortable. Others, I didn't bring that clip anyway, but they are like, in that kind of cargo plane where everything is like rope like this. So you just have to like sit back and you hold the rope like that. That one you see in the movie. Don't pretend. It's not like this one. That's herpes. Anyway, we hope that not hope this time. We pray that those who are still left are probably lifted to Nigeria. So from the report, each person that made it back to Nigeria in Abuja was given 100,000 naira each, 25,000 naira credits on their phone to make calls and all that, 1.5 gigabyte data for internet connections and all that. All of these were listed as part of what was given to them. And I don't know if if Abike mentioned it herself. Do you know what I remember? I remember that people have changed Abike's name to, we call him Abike Dagboru here. They don't change them to Abiku. Abiku Dagboru, na typography error, typographic error. Or Abike don't turn to Abiku, it no matter. Here is Abike Dagboru upon return of these Nigerians from Sudan. We're going to go to the next one soon.
Because Egypt makes it difficult. Egypt says if the number of people you brought is less than 200 and the aircraft can only take 150, then nobody will leave. So they want you to pick the exact number of people that you're bringing to the border. So if there are more planes, if 4 planes go at the same time, you bring everybody back. So NEMA has assured that they've done that, and that's for Egypt. And the Port Sudan bid, they're trying to get tickets because it's even more difficult to get flights to Port Sudan, but they have an airline. So they're processing them now, get them tickets, and come back home. And if other airlines get the landing point, they'll quickly pay. So at least they're coming back home, and nobody will. We're glad nobody's life has been lost, and priority was given to students, women, and children. So let's just set our eyes on it.
You don't know when the second batch will start.
Planes are heading there. All that never says planes are already. All planes will be heading there.
Very poor quality. Should I say, poor audio quality. Anyway, that was us saying that the coast is clear. Now they've got the Egypt clearance, and now they are looking for more airlines that are going to pick up the challenge and then to help them evacuate so they can buy tickets. And anyway, so let's at least on this part, at least tell them, say, then do well so far. On this one, no, sure you get. Because if your family member was one of those people, you're not going to feel like others are feeling about their failure. The first thing you're going to be happy about is that finally they got your family member back to Nigeria, and then you can go back to the scenarios that actually like led to all of that, and then you can still take your position. Failure. Abike, you are a failure. Yes, you can still do that. But internet, you're not going to feel like that if a member of your family is one of those that has just been brought back. And if your family member is still there in Sudan, see calling us, they don't abandon us, they don't carry us. So of course you'll be raging. All this will mean nothing to you. And in my own book, now all of them are they right. Now, see, if you are angry with them, you are right. If you feel like they have, at least they've done this one, you are also right. In my book, because if you check very well, Now everybody go get their reason this time around based on what is what connects them to this whole thing. Or if to say now all of us generally, maybe say we will not like them at all at all. You're also right. It's a total failure, disaster. I agree with you. But you see, person in family don't land there, it won't really agree with you. At least not tonight. Tomorrow, everybody will resume again. Oh, Bokwari, you are a criminal. Bokwari, you are a failure. APC, this. But the moment their family just came back in, right? It's different. They will say thank you, even to their enemy. That is something that is a little bit rare. Hasn't really showed up lately. You know, like you'll be like, about now, Nigerian politicians, they are crooks, they are criminals, they think they are smart, they can't be caught. So if one of them is caught somewhere, hello, you would expect some level of camaraderie, or what do they call them? Camaraderie. I mean, not camaraderie. Oh, anyway, this friendship, this whatever, that at least to show off support, or you can call it esprit de corps. Esprit de corps means even if we pretend to be wearing different uniform, but when I say esprit de corps, you say it back. I know say we be paddy. So that was what we expected that was what some people expected when Ekweremadu entered the trap of the UK judicial system, the crown. Like UK is corrupt. Nigeria is their friend. What is all this? In the next Kiniko, they are going to send him back home. I think that he won't repay until when they saw that they have prepared Ekweremadu's prison cloth, the prison pajamas, the one we go to wear during the summer, the prison hood. The prison hoodie, the prison jumper, the one that had like a tama wear. They don't measure them. But it seems to be too late, or maybe not. It seems to be late, maybe not too late. The man that duped his client in Georgia, in America, that later became the prominent politician under a man that forfeited 460,000 US dollars because of drug trafficking in Chicago, in America. This man who ran away from Georgia turned to the Tinubu's political academy, and he became the speaker in Nigeria, Gbajabiamole, Esquire, Honorable Chief Gbajabiamole. It's like, Abba, the death they kill our mate. Now signing they signed all that. Should I say now messaging they sent to you to also say about how many of your mates left now? Say una still plenty. 11. No, hang on. 12, 13. About you are lucky. 20 of your mates are still alive. At this age, Baba, man, lucky you. Say, shut up, my son. Now 20 don't die. I just try remember the one we die. Because the people will remain. But I say, now me and that other one. They say, okay. Are you there? So you could talk about Jugba because it's a matter of time. You know that kind of thing. You go sit down like this and say, it's a matter of time. So the likes of Gbajabiamole and co, whatever they have done diplomatically behind the scene, they didn't work. And before he becomes a former speaker of House of Representatives and possibly the chief of staff to Tinubu, who is going to be a de facto president of Nigeria. You know, if Tinubu announced Gbajabiamole as his chief of staff, so Gbajabiamole is going to be your new Abba Kyari, and Tinubu will be the Bokwari Pro Max. So, Gbajabiamole will be the one that will have all the presidential clout and all of that, usually behind the scene, but I'm not sure if he's going to be behind the scene. So before he dropped the gavel, he sent a plea to the UK Crown. Esprit de corps from Abuja. The Crown, please. Dakumbiko, sorry. Sonu, sorry. Dakumbiko, sorry. And not the rest of that, yeah? Whatever. Listen to this. It's a long talk, oh. I decided I'm going to put it here because at least he's making an appeal on behalf of their colleague, a Nigerian, former Senate President, former Deputy Senate President. And if nobody say this Yawa Gas, it will probably be the governor-elect of Enugu State right now. UK, I beg, please, it don't learn. Because Ekwere Madu is standing trial for organ trafficking crime with his wife when they brought a supposed donor, a suitor, that would donate one of his kidney for their daughter. And he got here and they said it's not a match. Sensing that they were going to send him back to Nigeria, the young donor ran into a police station, reported himself, reported Ekwere Madu. They waited for them to come back here. On the day they arrived at the Heathrow from Abuja, now this time around, to come and walk around on how to take their daughter to Turkey. Because the guy they brought to UK, they said his kidney is not compatible. Or should we say, he wasn't mentally counseled or prepared that he was going to give his kidney. Sure you get. So they were coming to the UK. And on the arrival, they picked up Ekwere Madu. It was like a joke. But when the whole story started unraveling, as we are watching this video right now, Ekwere Madu is just counting days. They have already been convicted. They've been found guilty. They have been found guilty of organ and human trafficking crime. In the UK, there are some crimes that are not forgivable, especially if you don't go public like this. Or maybe there will be some exception. Now that they said that Ekwere Madu have learned his lesson. They never removed the kidney. Some people in Nigeria, some were in Nigeria. They said, this whole thing is even so shocking. They never even remove kidney. They won't come send Ekwere Madu to go jail. They don't need to remove the kidney. No be until when they remove your kidney, they go say that they're guilty. Baba, and worry. But here is Bajabia Mole pleading. Ejo, please. Sorry. Thank you.
I'm going to use the opportunity to speak directly to the Crown and the British courts and judicial system, not in a bid to absolve our former Senate President for any offenses he may have committed, but to plead for clemency. I believe it behoves on any government and any country, wherever their citizens are distressed or found in situations such as this, not in a bid to establish their innocence, but in a bid to plead for their clemency, that such a country or government should intervene. We have seen it times without number by even the most advanced democracies in the world. Recently, an American citizen, a famed basketballer, Britner, was caught and arrested by the Russian authorities. The crime was established, but the US government did not relent for a day until her release was secured. And for that reason, I will, on behalf of the House of Representatives, also speak to the British judicial system and the courts. Now, for as long as I have known Ekwere Madu, he has been a brilliant lawyer, a distinguished public servant, and a dedicated family man. Over the course of 2 decades, of shared service in the national legislature, he has become a dear friend of mine and a trusted colleague. For these reasons, his arrest by authorities in the United Kingdom on charges of conspiring to arrange the travel of another Nigerian citizen to harvest his organs was a terrible shock. These revelations are a far departure from the character of the man as I have known him, and fall far short of the standards of behavior expected from a man of his standing. All that has come to light since his arrest has been deplorable and deeply unpleasant. I am grateful and thankful that Honorable Toby has laid the foundation and the circumstances upon which this act was committed. The intention is what is important. The man walked willingly to the embassy to declare his intent of what he was going to do, not being fully seized of the requirements of the British legal system. For 24 years, since the return to democratic governments in Nigeria, Ike Ekweremadu has served the people of his community, his state, and his country with vigor and dedication. For most of that time, he has been a member of the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And during that time, he has used his office to advance the cause of democracy, champion critical reforms, and advocate for the development of his constituency. Through his Ikioha Foundation, of which he discussed severally with me, he and his wife have helped provide access to quality education and healthcare for thousands of people in his community and his state. Their public service and private philanthropy have helped improve the social, economic, and political fortunes of their communities and aided the personal and professional progress of many. Now, none of this suggests that either Ekweremadu or his wife should be above the law or held to a different standard than any other citizen. I recount these things only to present a whole perspective so that this moment of consequence, the judgment of the court, may take into consideration the Ekweremadu's history of honorable living and distinguished service, their contributions to a better world, and the possibility that, given a chance, through the penitence of service, both Ike and his wife can yet atone for their failings and find forgiveness before God and man. The welfare of two young Nigerians lies at the heart of this case. And I hope that after all this is done, Mr. David Nwamini, the complaining witness, will go on to a long and productive life, free from the trauma of his recent travails. For Miss Sonia Ekweremadu, Ike's young daughter, whose well-being necessitated the unfortunate actions that have now led to these terrible consequences for all involved, the nightmare of a dangerous diagnosis is compounded beyond measure by the real possibility that the two most responsible for her care may shortly be committed to terms of punishment from which they will be unable to offer even a loving embrace when nothing else will do. Surely, it is within our means to live under the law and be just and merciful at the same time. I urge the court to consider.
You don't want to listen to him anymore. Remove him. Maigun, get this guy out of here. I know. I have done just that. But I actually wanted you to see that they took time to write what is expected to read as, pleading on behalf of Ekweremadu. The probating, going back and forth and all of that. He built schools, he paid people's school fees and blah, 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 the blah, the blah, the blah. How come they don't build hospital for that in community? That he had to put his daughter on a 6 hours flight to over 6,000 miles away so that they could use the medical facility in a far land. Bajabia Mole, Yusuf go jail. Your convoy killed a vendor because you are inside rushing, Abi, your convoy. One of your security men in your cover killed the vendor in Abuja. Today, we don't hear anything about that anymore. Sure, you get. Although criminals still bad job in Nigeria, and you are very much, you should get yourselves ready. In Abeokuta, Tunji Akeosi, Tabi Akeosi. Tunji is an APC member, House of Rep elect, I heard. And then he also did a hit and run in Abeokuta. Today. It's somebody got the runaway. People chased him. He assaulted them. Nah, rep electo is not yet a rep member. Criminals stick by job and
Okay, if nobody else knows you here, I know you very well. I know you very well. You are. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. You are a House of Assembly. You are a House of Rep member. You are stupid. You are foolish. You are foolish. You have no woman feelings, Oga.
Somebody is mocking something. You guys were not here. I didn't even know. That's why I'm saying he's pretending.
What do you mean by he's pretending? What do you mean by he's pretending, Oga? What do you mean by he's pretending? You are a human being like him. You are a human being like him. What do you mean by he's pretending? What do you mean by he's pretending? What he's telling me is that this
is I'm going to injure you.
Can you
They never swear for Amo. They go swear for Am next month. Emo, you go see Shake Day. And you have to just learn how to live with that, I think. Yeah, you just have to learn how to live with that. Like you did with Bokuwari. You eat somebody with your car, eat and run. You ran away, they chased you, they caught up with you. Why did you run? You said, I thought he was pretending that something, I thought nothing happened to him, that he was just pretending. Lawmaker, a lawbreaker. He eat somebody, eat and run. You know, you go stay there. Eat and run alone. Now jail time, they play with, Abi. If you hit anybody for UK, you hit somebody, and you run away. Hey, you don't finish yourself, you have finished your life. You must have so much money for you not to go to jail. Attempted murder. You go to see charges. Now you go to see jail for far like a Kure Madu. Because you know that kind of thing, say your pastor goes to you and say, see my eyes that is paining me. A lawmaker in Nigeria said he thought the person was pretending. Ogbanyo, alone pretend. And there you are. Some people said, what is wrong with that lady? That lady is very rude. How can she be talking can she talk to her husband like that? Yes, I'm not saying that what that man did is good. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, look at that lady. She's very rude. And there are many in Nigeria. They blame the victim. Say, hey, what did I eat me? My leg is broken. Some will be like, what happened to you? They saw you when the car hit you. What happened? Are you okay? No, I'm not okay. I cannot walk again. I cannot walk. But are you blind? Didn't you see that car is coming? I mean, what is all of this again? Is the leg broken? Can you try and walk? Let's try and see if you can walk. Next time, you too, sir, you should be watching, looking at the road. All these drivers, some of them, they don't care. When you are going, right there, instead of people to say, hey, where the driver? He don't run. Hey, hello, police. See, I want to report it and run. A car just hit, no. Nigeria, they go blame you. Others go say, you know something. If you don't go offend somebody the way they don't talk, I'm not to go kill them. See, my sister, this life is we need to be very careful. Abina, look, she was standing there. All of us are standing here. And the car just came from there. And it didn't come for all of us here. It just went for her. She if you don't offend somebody for her street, the way I'm looking at her, she if it be somebody who be say she gets sharp mouth. Now hand of now devil people say me there. Now the devil. I know what's happened to her. My sister, let's just watch our mouth. That thing we they do, they won't kill her. But now the spirit of his mama, no one makes she die. That is why that thing just break her leg. Say, hey, no wonder. Even Mr. Sir, sorry, what's your name, sir? Call me Prophet Joshua. Oh, you're a professor, now. Now. Me too, I was wondering. I mean, that's a new car, very new car. It lost brake. We don't understand. Now, I said, now devil. A country that is so badly governed, so terribly governed, that people turn to what you can call a sort of I mean, what came to my mind is it's not that nice. Like a mental state, it's a mental, a sort of degenerated a mental health problem. Sure, you get where people are now living on superstition. Because that's the only way they can actually explain some of the things that are happening around them. Some of them, if you witness them, they will think you are mad with the way you'll be reacting. What is all this now? Hey, cover your eyes. Wait up. If there's not dead body, the road. Hey, see dead body on the road. That's the dead body. You don't swallow, no. You go see dead body. They on there like 3 days or 4 days in the middle of the road. This thing, see, my brother, you will see some of them will tell you about this body go bust by tomorrow. You don't there for 3 days now. Say, dead body on the streets. See, government not government. Anytime I get there, I just wind up my glass. It's been there for 3 days. We are hoping that they will come and carry the dead body before the thing busts for road. When you begin to act to some things you are seeing in Nigeria, they will say you are mad. Ogbeni, are you sure say nobody they don't give you one gesture for that you're London? Why you come out like say you did? It don't mean anything. Dead body on the road don't mean anything. I don't mean anything, Jare. Now Nigeria be this one. They feel normal to your law. Are you with me? So I mean, it can be that bad that people can be like pretentious, and then they're like creating the alternative whatever, and then you will just be like, man, this is a mad asylum, a mad place. It is what it is, some would say. But I am going to draw my own curtains there because I actually want to take calls tonight. I still have about 3 stuffs I want to share with you. But the ideal thing is we'll let it let's put it aside. And then I can speak to people. So if you are still watching this, where we have over 2,000 of us on YouTube, and we have over, how many, 12 of us on the TikTok, as well as nearly 250 of us on Facebook, is mental. Those who manage to get on to watch the broadcast on Facebook, you are the goat. Seriously. You can't even share. Some of you can share it. Some of you can like it. Facebook now mad. That's Mark Zuckerberg. Go on to YouTube. It's quite good there. I'm building something on the Rumble as well. And I'm also building something as well on the another social media platform that are completely independent and quite more kind of relaxed. But you won't know much of them if you don't have a chance of listening to my ego every now and then. So yeah, subscribe to my channel when you can. And then when that time comes, you will be one of those to know. So like the broadcast to show that you are here. And when I get back now, I will take 1 or 2 calls. Remember.
Today, I want to declare without equivocation. Today, I want.
70 years old man. You. Jesus is Lord. Jesus. Woman, you.